The depths of depravity of Sean Diddy Combs continues to just go into the darkest annals of history. I don't even want to say the case anymore because I feel like we've already passed the R. Kelly bar a long time ago. I think we just passed the Epstein station. I think
Mhm.
Weinstein Central has been passed already, and we're in new territory. We're down the track on these rails of an abandoned rail line, and we don't know where the hell it's going. 120 new sexual misconduct allegations being raised against Sean Diddy Combs from men, women, and children. These span all the way back to 1991 to current day. 25 of the 120 minors in this. Joining me to discuss, Siobhan Scott, psychotherapist and author. Um, we knew it would keep going, and now that he's locked up, the floodgates have. I feel like the dams broke. What's your
Yeah.
reaction to all this?
Yeah, just incredible numbers of people. And, we don't know for sure that they're all legitimate claims, but we
Mhm.
can say significant number are.
Yeah.
It just fits. And he may talk about the annals of history. He may go down as one of the most notorious sex offenders in history. It's just shocking.
Yes, and right underneath everybody's nose, literally singing about it, rapping about it, right underneath everybody's face. I mean, it's funny. I go back and I look at some of the lyrics and stuff now, and we knew they were like controversial back then or kind of scandalous. But there's what is that about music that we look the other way on versus someone going out and making a statement in public that would be very questionable and inappropriate versus, hey, if they put a funky beat to it and then they, shout remix, somehow it's more acceptable. I mean, this has been in his lyrics for 30 years.
Yeah, I think there's always been a controversy about music lyrics, and maybe it's just a generational thing. People my age have probably never gotten into music with offensive lyrics. But when you grow up with it as a kid, you often, I don't even think, understand when children listen to it, they don't understand what the lyrics mean. And then there's the normalizing of it as people hear it more and more, and it just becomes kind of an accepted part of the culture. It's just it people start to take it as it's not significant. And I think everything that we put into our heads, particularly when you've got little kids, it's all significant. What they listen to, what they watch, it affects them.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. I mean, the lyrics have certainly been there. The glorification of this kind of I mean, they call it what it is, pimp type lifestyle of just
Hmm.
disregard for women, they're objects
Hmm.
in that world, and they're gonna. I mean, some of the lyrics were literally this: "F them, love them, and leave them."
Hmm.
Is part of the culture and part of what was in many of those songs back then. I'm thinking of and other people as well that were in that circle and these sort of things are just celebrated that you have
Yeah.
young women, you have young men in the club listening to this stuff and like, yeah, why is that? Why do we have such cognitive dissonance to this music that we're consuming that we supposedly like and love? And I'm talking lyrics here that are 20 years old. I mean, I'm
Mm.
talking when I was
Yeah.
younger and in that sort of a scene, and you just I don't know, it's there, but we pretend that we
Hmm.
that it
Hmm.
doesn't mean anything, or I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, it's something that comes up for me all the time working with younger people about values. And I recently met with a young guy in his 20s who was trying to date, and he was very anxious about dating and had a lot of anxiety around the issue of sex and all that. And he was a very nice guy. But he said, "You know what my friends are all telling me to do? They're telling me to get a girl and start buying her drinks and get her drunk and get at least 4 drinks. That's the magic number, at least 4 drinks in her, and then I'll score." And he goes, "But I'm not really comfortable with that." And I'm like, "Of course, I'm glad you're not comfortable with that. Let's break down and talk about this attitude." But I think there's just in general an acceptance, in certain parts of the culture, and probably not everybody, but certain parts of the culture where this kind of attitude, it's just what being a guy means. And of course, young women internalize a lot of this stuff about their self-worth and, how they're so focused on their appearance and everything revolves around being desired by guys. And it's a lot of dark stuff.
And it's a contradictory thing as well. I've always found it very interesting, especially as the Me Too movement has progressed, and I'm not against that at all. But I have found it very interesting how contradictory some can be in this, where someone can be very strong on this, and yes, let's expose these people, but then you know we can get down to the music that talks about the exact same thing you're against.
Yep.
And it glorifies it. That to me has just been a weird disconnect. I mean, we've
Hmm.
seen changes in some other areas of entertainment and movies and acting, and but music seems to always be kind of the last bastion that gets affected, or I guess brought to the surface and called out. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Bruschi, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.